Alpine Liquid Fertilizers is your full-season crop fertility specialist from start to finish. Visit alpinepfl.com for more.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is set to resign as leader of the Liberal Party, marking the end of his nearly decade-long tenure in power. And he has not made the formal announcement just yet, but he is expected to at any moment. Real Ag Radio host Lyndsey Smith joins us now for an outlook. Lyndsey, so good to have you with us. We know you guys are keeping an eye on this. So what are the immediate steps the Liberal Party will take to choose a new leader after Trudeau's resignation?
Well, this is a huge day, of course, in Canadian politics. So as we speak, the current Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, is making his announcement at Rideau Cottage, his home here in Ottawa, Ontario, and he is announcing that he is resigning as Liberal leader. Now, he also, before he did this, he did meet with the Governor-General, and he asked the Governor-General to prorogue Parliament. So essentially that means that Parliament goes on pause and will not reconvene at the end of the month. And that's an important point because, of course, with Justin Trudeau's resignation, it means that the Liberal Party has to choose a new leader. And, of course, after that, it's essentially assumed that once Parliament does resume as of March 24th, that's how long it will be prorogued, that we will probably, all odds are that we will go to a federal election shortly thereafter. So still a lot of unknowns this morning as far as the timing of how this all happens. However, we do have at least some surety that Parliament has been prorogued until March 24th, and now we will head into a leadership race for the Liberal Party.
And like you say, there are a lot of unknowns right now, but any way to know that during this transition period, will he actually still be in power, or does something else happen?
Right. So this is an excellent point and great question in that essentially Trudeau does remain as Prime Minister for now. So although he is announcing he will resign, he does stay as Prime Minister until a new leader is chosen and until Parliament resumes. So in this interim, while it's not ideal, obviously, to have this much turmoil or volatility happening in Canadian politics, well, of course, President-elect Donald Trump will reach office January 20th. Trudeau is still Prime Minister until such a time that a new leader is chosen, and he will step down as Prime Minister at that time. So in the interim, yes, he is still Prime Minister and has all those rights and privileges and power. However, this at least starts the process of him stepping down from that position once a new Liberal leader is voted. And as I mentioned, on March 24th, Parliament will resume, and it's anticipated that shortly thereafter there will be a confidence motion tabled, and the government will fall, and we will be headed to a spring federal election.
And do you think this resignation will have any impact on the ag industry in Canada?
Well, absolutely. I mean, it is our federal leader, of course, and at the same time, this is something that I think has been inevitable by most accounts anyway, perhaps not for Trudeau himself, but for many in the industry, several bills have been stalled in Parliament. Nothing really has been happening at a federal level. There are significant, important bills that have been stalled in Parliament, including getting rid of the carbon tax on grain drying and barn heating. All of those essentially will disappear off the order paper once an election is called, and we'll be back to square one on some of these very important bills. So I think, if I may speak for Canadian agriculture as a whole, I think knowing this was in the works as far as, Trudeau has been wildly unpopular, to say the least, in the last while. He's polling at less than 22% in popularity, or approval rating, And so this really does feel like it needed to happen, probably needed to happen sooner, as it does create some turmoil while, a new president will move into place in the U.S., who, of course, has said that there will be tariffs in place on Canadian goods. So, Canadian agriculture is looking forward to some stability on this, and unfortunately that means going through an election first, which creates instability in the meantime, but then eventually we'll get a mandate and we'll be able to move forward.
All right. Thank you so much, Lyndsey. That's one of the hosts of Real Ag Radio, Lyndsey Smith. And you can catch Real Ag Radio, which airs at 4:30 p.m. Eastern weekdays on Real Radio, Channel 147 on Sirius XM. And we'll talk to them again here on Market Day Report tomorrow.